Once you feel lost in life, the least you should do is stay true to yourself. You gotta make promises with yourself and keep them. If you do so, you will create a bulletproof mindset. And this bulletproof mindset will take you as far as you should be. Because whenever you stay true to yourself and you are disciplined, the right doors will open and you will meet the right persons. And those persons that they will tell you for sure, this is what you're good at and this is why we can use you. And that's how you create your own kind of reality, to say it like that. And one person I really admire for this is Dejan, my best friend, basically. And I think he can share a lot of his experiences about this, how you moved to Switzerland, then you moved to London, and now you're planning on moving back to Amsterdam.
Yeah,
So
definitely. So yeah, my experiences with this is of course like a strong mindset I set since I was very young that I was gonna move abroad, go away from the Netherlands.
you always told us.
I always said that, and I also did it. How I would do it, I didn't know, but I would do it. That was a fact. So that is something that I did do. Being true to yourself, and when you say I do something, it can be with the smallest things like going to the gym, because you obviously need to create a strong mindset. You need to be a strong person. You need to be very important. Also, what I think is to be good with yourself, to be alone,
but to be confident about yourself as well.
Yeah.
Because if you know, I always do this when I make a promise to myself, I'll keep it. You kind of send it outwards as well, because people know you talk with confidence. Because when he tells me I'll be doing this, without a doubt, I'll believe in them, because he always keeps his word even to himself.
That is true. That is what I like. I when I say things that I will do something, I do them. Especially with major things in life, as I see it. So now when I say to someone, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna move to the Netherlands and I'm gonna buy a house in Amsterdam, for example, and a lot of people will say like, oh, that's difficult to do, and how are you gonna do it? It's expensive, and so many people have issues with doing that. I said, I don't care. I'm gonna do it. I'll figure it out. It will be fixed. And then people are like, okay, it's straight up, because I've shown that when I say I do something, it does happen.
You got a stack of undeniable proof.
Yeah, that's how you could see it. Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, definitely. That is so. I think that is one of the main things, which is very important, like being true to yourself. A good thing, what I was just saying to finish that being good with being with yourself. So I've also been going alone on holidays and then meeting friends, like some Norwegian friends, for example, going with them to, was invited to go to Ibiza, go to Oslo and go hang out with them. But it was because I went on my own, and that creates confidence, by the way, doing things on your own. Like just going like out of the comfort zone. So not remain in the same city, going out of your comfort zone, go somewhere just by yourself, sit at a restaurant, meet people, and people will often speak to you when you're just sitting there because they're super curious about what are you doing here?
What you're alone. Why?
Exactly.
Nobody is doing that.
And especially when you're young, for example, but even if you're an older person, or you can even have your book with you or whatever, it's no problem. So that's a super important thing.
But indeed, what you told us, you create a certain level of confidence, and people will notice this without a doubt. But even if you're not traveling beyond your own city, you can also do it in the small things within your city. Like, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym this day. You still go to the gym because you've made an
agreement with
yourself about going to the gym a certain amount of times in that week. So, and if you keep these promises,
but it's also something you create over time, right? Because you can say something.
It's like small wins.
It is not that this is a process, because you need to create confidence. You need to become good at it. Well, first of all, it's a decision that you need to say to yourself, basically, I want to become a better version of myself. And once you do that, then, okay, how can I do that? First of all, when you make an agreement with yourself that you want to do something, like go to the gym 4 days a week, let's say, then do that also 4 days a week, and not come up with bullshit excuses like,
didn't have the time today.
Didn't have the time today, because you can create time. If you really want something, and that's also with how I see my life and the things I've done, I really want those things. So I can find billions of excuses. I don't have the money. I don't know the right people to go here or to get there. I can find a billion excuses, or like how we say it in Dutch as a saying, we always see bears on the road, like a bear. Yeah. But no, the road is always clear. And when you see opportunity only, and you know that is what you will attract, then opportunities will come. And so when you say I'm going 3 to 4 times a week to the gym, then do it and be true to yourself, because that will compound into becoming more and more secure, and it will get into your subconscious mind.
It will. because the discipline you create with it will come back into your mindset and everything. So let's say the first time you go to the gym alone, you think, oh, I think this is kind of, I don't know if I like it. And the next time it's with less, what's the English word for it? It's with less doubt you go.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, it's like it compounds, of course, and then over time, you just go without thinking about it.
Yeah, you become more comfortable with it.
You become comfortable with it, and whenever you're comfortable with it, people will notice this, of course. But so the first time you moved abroad, you moved to Switzerland.
Yeah.
That's not something you do just
No.
one night of sleep. You go.
No, I thought about it for a while. So I went like skiing is my passion. So the first reason was to go skiing, right? And then I thought, okay, how can I do that? I always had a picture in my bedroom. I believe in vision boards, by the way. I got tons of pictures of how I see my future life and how I'm living my life. So I wrote everything down and I said, I'm going to become a ski instructor and enjoy and have fun. So I always had a picture of the mountains next to my bed. Every night I looked at it and I was like, oh, one day I'm going to live there. One day I'm going to live there. Every night when I slept. And then I just made a decision to go to do the education, the course in Switzerland, and for half a year. And that ended up resulting in me being for 4 years living abroad. And now coming back because I miss the family and my friends and because my excitement brings me back home. And that's what it's telling me to do. So then I follow that and I listen to my intuition.
See if you have any tips. Let's say you got to choose 4, you got to give 4 examples.
Mm-hmm.
What should people do to at first start with what is my vision? Because some people don't know their vision. How will you how do you come up with such a vision? Then how will I translate this into something achievable? Then how do I take action on this? And how will I go to the next step?
Mm-hmm.
How will I achieve it? Because you're, as you told us, you're a big fan of mood boards.
Vision boards.
Vision boards, what you calling it.
Yeah.
And it's also in the first podcast you told us about the book, the series,
The Secret.
The Secret. This is also that helped you a lot with it. But if you gotta give 4 examples about what people should do, what's the first thing?
So the first thing that I would recommend is figuring out what it truly is that you want to do. What are you truly passionate about? So now you think of a life, close your eyes and think of a life where there are no opinions of others and you have every resource, every knowledge to be able to do the thing you want to do. Can be anything, becoming a singer or president or whatever it is. As big as you can dream of, what it truly is and is that you want to do and no opinions exist. Okay, then that is what you truly want to do. Straight away, you will start to get negative thoughts and doubts.
Yes, most of the time people get doubts. They start thinking about, oh, why not? Why I can't do this?
Because of whatever bullshit reason.
But you gotta remember, every person is exactly the same. We have the same amount of bones in our body.
Exactly, we're human, right? So we're made of the same thing, and you created yourself. So if you truly believe in it, you can do anything. I know it from own experience. And we're still working on that, of course. But it's
every day is a learning.
An everyday process, right?
Every day is a lesson, I mean.
100%. So that is the first thing, figuring out what it truly is you want to do. And then think of, okay, what are the things in my life at this right moment, right now, that I can take action on, as small as it can be, to get you closer to that step. So that is what I did. I was like, okay, when I was 16, I was super excited about becoming a ski instructor. Okay, what can I do? I can take ski lessons, of course. I could already ski for a tourist, so to say. I could ski decent, not technically, not good enough, to be honest. I learned so much. But okay, what could I do? Well, I had the money because I invested in crypto over the time, so I could just basically say like, okay, let me do an education and become a ski instructor, and in the meantime also learn how to become better at skiing. And that then compounded, that is by following my excitement then, because it's an idea which came through my head. Oh, I could do this. But then because it was COVID time, I could let myself be influenced by, but it's COVID time, it's not going to be so fun, or things are closed, blah, blah, all that stuff. But no, just following that excitement, and that then compounds into more ideas, more chances, more opportunities and people that you meet, which compound into more and more and more of your excitement. That is synchronistically, which will then come on your path. So that is by, first of all, as you asked, the first thing, figure out what it truly is you want to do without thinking of opinions of others, or that you don't have the right resource, because everything is possible.
And then the second most important thing people can do on creating a better or a more clear vision, about
Mhm.
creating their own
Yeah.
like life?
I would write it down on a piece of paper. That's what I did, and I have a vision board, as I mentioned before.
But is it like, as a question,
Mhm.
on your vision board, what do
Yeah.
you place on it? Is it like photos from things you see online, or is it like
Yeah.
how does
It is photos of, for example, I like the Italian lifestyle, so that whole families are sitting together at a table with good food and views in Tuscany, for example, and wine. And I have pictures of that. I have pictures of cars. This is more materialistic, which is fine, but also pictures of cars, or even pictures of areas or houses. Like if you want to live in the mountains, let's say what I had pictures of snowy mountains, which all like influences your subconscious unconsciously.
So daily being on a
Thinking
daily
about it.
basis,
Yeah.
you're being
Triggered,
triggered
reminded.
by the vision
Yeah.
and the thoughts
Mm-hmm.
of your end goal, basically.
Exactly. Because it will keep you reminded about it. Because every time you wake up, you look at it. Every morning I salute my vision board. I say, "This is my life. This is my life. This is my life. This is my life." And I start to feel it. And then often I get goosebumps going down my body. And then I know that goosebumps come from something, because it's a feeling, an inner feeling. Which
And then you start truly believing in it. So that brings us also
Mhm.
to step three, basically,
Yeah.
or the third most
Yeah.
important thing people can do is, how do you truly believe in it? And how can you really convince yourself about that new reality you're living in? Because it's always the thought of already living,
Mm-hmm.
and not on one day, it's now.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you can first of all think about, when you look at the past in your life and where you are standing now, for example, or whether you have done things or achieved things. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you had a belief, or like you had that vision of like, oh, in an X amount of time, I want to have this life. So there's probably something, either you met the right partner, or uh, the right job, or whatever it is came on your path, and now you're doing that. So you know that back then you had that vision, and it wasn't in your physical reality yet, but now you have it. So you can do the same thing. Close your eyes, really think about it, visualize how it is that life. How are you as that person in that reality there? That's how you need to see it. You need to become the person that is living that life, that is doing the things that they are doing as you see yourself, like whether it's helping people around the world or sharing this knowledge. How are you treating people when challenges come up, or like people are like, you maybe meet negative people or negative situations which are challenging? How is the person, the you in that lifestyle, in that life, how are they reacting to the things? Bring that reality and that the way of thinking, how that person is, bring that to the now, and be and live like that person in this life at this moment, because then you will start to attract more and more and become the same frequency. And within a matter of time, you'll have it in your own life. It is seriously that simple, and it sounds super simple, but it's because I have it from my own experience. I say something, and I nowadays, because it is also a matter of time, you need to just start by doing. You can take it as a simple thing. Say like a parking space. I always say I will have parking space wherever I go, and I always have parking space. In the beginning, it was like, what the fuck? I do have a parking space. For example, the supermarket. Whilst it's normally often super busy on the Saturdays, for example, always right in the front of the door. I visualized it before I came. I said, I have a parking space. Thank you, universe. Already in the present tense. I have the parking space, and I got it. And same thing with finding the right house in London. My house in London, for example, I said, I'm gonna live at the top floor. We're gonna live high with a beautiful view, super luxurious, nice, and for a great price. Exactly that thing I attracted. No joke. And now the same thing with Amsterdam. I'm coming back here. I said, yeah, I need a house. People are saying, oh, it's gonna be difficult, it's expensive. Now, via family member, they have some property, and he said to me, "You can just live in my apartment for X amount of time, for a very good price, and it's super nice, luxurious, in an amazing area." You know, I believe in it. I say it to people. I speak it out loud, because that is what gives the confidence, and then you truly just attract it. And that's also because when I say something, I've done my things, as you said, to Switzerland, or like wanting to move abroad. I say it, but I also do it. That creates confidence in yourself, which will then reflect to people, and people will reflect it back, And
Exactly. So as the first and last and basically the most important point,
Mhm.
how will people achieve what they manifest and what they truly believe in? And if they achieve it, or how do you notice if if something is coming like close? How do you notice it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I like that one, because how you notice it is by that the universe challenges you. So you say, I want to do something, or because financially, often people have things with finance. that either finances or they're tight on finance and they want to do something, or how am I gonna be able to pay my rent next month? The universe then said, and okay, so let's say you do this, what I just told you, like you write down also on a piece of paper in present tense how your life is going to be, you visualize it, you have the vision board, whatever, doesn't matter. Then the universe starts to challenge you. It will bring you another situation which is going to give you the chance to stay in that old negative frequency and behavior and mentality, to remain in that shitty and keep going with that. So you attract the same thing. Or you can then think of like becoming that person which is already having it. How is that person that does have that money to be able to pay their rent for next month, for example? And that person is acting positive towards it and sees it as a good thing and knows that it will always be fine and it will always work out. And if you then show the universe that I'm like that person, then the universe said, okay, this situation has served its purpose, because everything has a reason in life. And you will start to attract something or someone which brings you the thing in the path. So it will always challenge you. Something will come up that you're like, what the fuck, it's already getting close. How am I going to do this? Stay positive. Know that it's a challenge. Remain in that positive state of how the person is. That is how you know that it will, that it's coming. So the challenge will come on your path, because you need to learn something from a situation in your life. And so you can then become that person that you need to be in that moment, or like in that reality that you have written down and visualized. Does it make sense?
It does make sense. And to summarize the whole episode we just recorded in this podcast,
Yeah.
what you have to do to find your purpose in life is stay true to yourself, keeping promises, stack those small wins, and be proud of them. And once you do all this, the right doors will open, and you will follow the right path, and it will all work out. It will all be good.
100%. Exactly. It's a nice one.
It's a nice one. See you next time.